tacked up and pretty much ready to start welding. It's aluminum. I've done worse.
Aluminum TIG Welding Turbo Intercooler, Season 2, Episode 3.
Warning: flashing lights occur during this video. Please use caution. The content and techniques you see in this video are performed by professionals. We ask that you do not attempt or attempt at your own risk. Thank you.
Alright, aluminum, I guess it's intercooler pipe or something for our friend Josh. Got to tack it up and weld it. And all these pieces. We gotta weld this first because he's got another part that he's got, and he's gotta attach that to that. So get it all tacked up and then weld.
Before we tack or weld it, we want to wipe the Sharpie marker marks and the fingerprint marks off because the heat will heat it up and make it more difficult to get off. So I use acetone to help get it off. Another thing is to try to put smaller tack welds if you can with like 1/16 wire or even smaller like 040, 045, something like that. Unless you have a big gap, obviously. But the smaller tack welds you put on there, the better it will look when you go over the weld. And try to keep the tack welds consistent at like 12, 3, 6, and 9 o'clock, something like that, on each pie cut so they all look consistent with your starts and stops like that. And it's not just all over the place. I didn't really do it here because this was already all taped up and it's just way more work to take that all that tape off, and I'm not sure if I'd be able to fit it back up in the same spot if I took the tape off and made it all like that.
Alright, got a good amount of it tacked up on this side. Just a little hard with all the tape on there. You gotta tack it and you gotta wipe it, clean it, because then there's all that residue on there. Like over here is a little harder probably. So it heats up pretty fast, and once it heats up, that tape residue melts and you gotta get that off, but you don't want to take all the tape off because then your part's moving on you. So you just gotta do a little bit at a time.
Just take your time with it, don't rush yourself, and know going into it that it's going to take a little bit of time. And if you have tape on it like this, it's going to take even longer instead of just tack welds on it. But if someone tack welds it on you, make sure that they don't use a spool gun. If they do that, then it might take even longer, or it's going to look worse if you go over top of it. Just know all that stuff going into it, and if you're going to bit it like that, how to bit it. I think no matter which way you do it, it's still a good amount of work. Now here's this cool clamp we got at work. It's meant for button up two pieces of pipe together, but works really well for something like this to clamp it down and be able to spin and hold the part together when you're welding it.
Alright, I got this piece right here. Now this is not, it's just really tight, kind of pressed in. I kind of want to level it a little, so I got this clamp thingy and clamped it up to the table. Now I want to try leveling this out somehow, which is kind of hard, and then level this out on top of that with, I got this little guy. Okay, that can help me. So we'll try that out.
I'm just trying to adjust the pipe, loosen it a little bit, reposition it, and get it level. And then I'll adjust and weld that little pipe coupling thing and get that level and level it all out.
Alright, I think it's all tacked up and pretty much ready to start welding. It's aluminum, so I don't really need to purge it. This was kind of hard to get perfect. I mean, I can level this out, I can level it this way with this, but I couldn't really level it the other way because I have nothing really to go off of to level it, so just eyeballed it the best I could. So I think that's pretty good.
Just try getting yourself comfortable and run like a couple dry runs before you actually weld it. Maybe even a test pipe before you weld it. Make sure your settings are all good. And just go from there. Try keeping your heat consistent and everything. Don't go too hot, but not too cold. Make sure you're getting good penetration and everything. And try keeping your consistency pretty good. I'm kind of bouncing around between different joints and welds just to help prevent warpage even more. But it's kind of hard to because this is such a small pipe and aluminum and it just heats up so fast. But just trying a little bit and making it a little easier on myself. Definitely not the best thin pipe welder, but it should serve its purpose.
About lunchtime now. Not the prettiest, but not the worst. It'll definitely hold up. I think it's going to get wrapped anyway. Alright. Alright, this piece is done for now. We gotta go back to Josh and he's gonna fit some other piece up and bring it back to us. But not the best welds, not the worst. Hard for me to, I'm not the best like pipe welder like this. So I'm a little inconsistent, but more than enough pulled up. Inside's not all 100% penetration, but it's pretty good. Here I got almost 100% all the way there. I think we're pretty good. Good enough for now. On to the next stuff. Alright, I guess I'll start on this piece. Show you guys my welder settings. So usually number 1 is my DC stuff, 2 is aluminum, so I'll probably drop it down to about maybe 120 amps, 130. And then normal setup, advanced square wave, I'd be using the pedal, TIG pulse off, welding amps 130, AC bound or frequency 110. I could bump it up a little more though. For thinner stuff I like to bump it up a little more, but this is fine. Balance 40, downslope none, end amps 10, that's the lowest it goes. Post flow 7.5, pre-flow 0.2, start amps I'll bring it down to the lowest 10, upslope none, welding amps. High frequency TIG. That's it. Got our next piece. just this thing, and then we got that little fitting on top. I think that goes something like that. That's gonna be a little tougher, but I think I'll weld this on first, let it cool down, then I'll do that. But got some tape right there, so a little movement in that. I'll hold it down, tack it, and then I'll take the tape off and do the other side.
Little trick I do if I don't have anybody to hold this part down like this, or I can't really get a clamp on like this too because the way the angle is, I'll just put a little tack on it and I'll keep that heat going on that tack, take my hand and push down on it like that and hold it down. That should work. Just like before, tacking a little spot, then taking the tape off, cleaning it with some acetone, wiping it down, putting some more tacks on it, and so on. Then welding it.
My frequency up to 250. So I got my tacks around it. I'm gonna just weld it really fast. Gotta try keeping that mark on there because I gotta use that to line it up somewhere else. Alright, I changed my tungsten around. New fresh tungsten. Using a number 5 cup, standard collet and everything. 3/32 tungsten, 2% lanthanated blue. Alright, not too bad. That was a little easier, that one. Alright. On to the next one. Now I have to keep that number on there somehow. Maybe I'll put a little grind mark on it just in case it disappears. Just got this weld on this one. And they all get butt up to each other. There we go. I don't know if you could see it, but just something to help mark just in case the marker disappears. I kind of like to wipe it before I weld it just to get all that gunk off there and that marker, because if you heat it up sometimes it stays on there.
Future me talking here. Judd, he's helping me tack these parts up and fitting them all up together, so that's nice, moving a little faster here, but we're just not getting as much on camera. So we got time-lapse going, and my camera is about to die, so I'm not sure what footage I lost, but that's it.
Alright, all tacked up. Time to weld all this piece out. Judd came out and helped me fit these pieces up, so we got them all good to go. So I don't know how much of that video you guys will see, but it helped me fit them up, tack them up. Now I just gotta weld all these, those, and that. Not too much. finished up. Not the best to weld, but I've done worse. It's an old. Now Josh brought this one back, and this is the piece we got to tack on or weld on now. So just gotta kind of tack it, and 1, 2, 3 more fittings. All right.
Alright guys, that's it, but I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to get better quality pictures and videos of the final product, but I'll make sure to do that in the future, and I apologize for that. Thank you for watching. Feel free to like, dislike, comment, and subscribe. Check out my Instagram where I post more often at Chris Winarski. See you on the next one.